Welcome to the Dreams of Consciousness podcast. If you'd be so kind, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hello, my name is Harri Kuokkanen. I'm the vocalist of Hooded Menace.
And Hadi, you've been on the podcast once before. In 2021, we spoke about the previous Hooded Menace album, The Triton Spell. Would you like to catch everyone up on what the band has been doing since then, since 2021?
Well, basically, it's just been everything we've done has been revolving around the album that it will be released in a couple of days. Lachrymose Monuments of Obscuration, as we haven't been playing any gigs since 2018. So when the previous album, The Triton Spell, came out, we were already uh, on a non-gig phase of the band. So it's been just writing the new songs and eventually recording and now putting them out.
So, the last time we spoke, you described Hooded Menace as classic death doom. Do you feel that's still true with this album and the previous album? Do you feel that you're still in the realm of classic old school death doom?
Well, yeah, we're still, yeah, the core is still Death Doom, uh, and but of course, already on the previous album, we introduced some traditional heavy metal elements, like 80s heavy metal elements to our music as well. So I think mm, we've continued doing that, um, exploring exploring the possibilities of combining these different aspects of metal. So yeah, it's still Death Doom band, but I think we have a little more other influences in the band still.
So the last time we spoke, we had a very in-depth conversation about the history of Hooded Menace and how you personally became involved with the band as the vocalist, as well as the way the band writes songs, the way Lassie writes songs and distributes it to the rest of the band. Uh, is most of that still the same? Is Lassie still handling everything on his own, and you guys hear the songs when they're completed?
Yeah, it's still the same. It's his way of doing things. Of course, sometimes he might give us a little peek, like sneak peek of the what is going on, like sending a song that isn't like fully finished, but it's not like he's getting feedback from us or anything like that. Just like showing us the process. So yeah, it's been the same. He wrote the new songs during 2022, 23, 24, and last year, late last year, we started recording them.
When he sends you the files, do they have like temp drums and stuff like that?
Excuse me, I couldn't
Oh,
hear.
the demos that he sends to you guys, do they have
Yeah.
temp drums like program drums or something like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. He programs the drums already, so everything's like included. The fills included, also the vocal arrangements included. So even though the songs don't have the lyrics written by the time he sends us the demos, the vocal arrangements are still there. Like he does the vocal arrangements by singing some other lyrics on, like, because it's about the rhythm. He uses the vocals as one instrument, so it's he already has the vision about the rhythm when the vocals come in, how they do it. So it's pretty much, yeah, everything's thought through when he sends them.
So if I understand you, he does something like vocal patterns, even if he doesn't have the lyrics finished.
Yeah. He might just like make some lyrics that won't end up being the final lyrics. Just like some words that have the same patterns, like rhythmic patterns and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you offer your feedback on the lyrics or on the vocal patterns, or do you leave that all to
Uh,
Lassie?
the vocal patterns and the arrangements are their Lasse's territory, so I don't step there. But it's like he doesn't write all the lyrics, all the final lyrics. So, for example, on this, I think on the albums, all the three albums I've been in, I wrote one lyrics for the one song each album. So it's like when we have when I have the vocal patterns like fixed, I can sometimes I can contribute some lyrics to that pattern, and so happened this time as well.
On this album, which song did you contribute lyrics to?
Daughters of Lingering Pain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are my lyrics. Yeah.
For your lyrics, what do you usually draw inspiration from?
It depends. It depends. As Hooded Menace is like from the very beginning, there has been this cinematic influence, like the horror story influence on the band. I usually with this band, I don't speak in general lyrically, but with this band, I usually get an idea from some like horror aspects. It might be a story, it might be a film, but it just also might be like a one theme, like horrific theme that I start uh, making lyrics about. So it's but yeah, we usually nowadays we try not to make it too straightforward, like that you could actually maybe not even be able to find the reference like for the certain stories or certain films. It's more like getting the atmosphere from there and try to make it something else and like leave room for imagination and stuff.
Are you personally a big fan of horror films and horror fiction?
Uh, Not like a big fan. I enjoy some, but it's not like I'm a it's not my hobby that I go through horror films or something like that. I enjoy some, but like with this band, it's obvious that uh, gotta have to like yeah have to look into that direction
Right,
to find the right mindset.
right. Lassie had a concept in place already.
Well, yeah. For the band, yeah, for the band, it's been like I think it was kind of first two albums were such movie centered themes like throughout the albums. So after that, it's been more like developing it from there. Like we haven't the band hasn't had so straightforward horror movie references since the couple of albums, but we still have some things we want to have still have, like for example, it's kind of it's a thing that we with every album we should have one, at least one blinded movie series inspired lyrics for one song at least.
Interesting. Okay. So, as you mentioned, at the end of the week, you'll be releasing a new album through Season of Mist. It is called Lachrymose Monuments of Obscuration. You also mentioned that Lassie had been working on this from 2022 to 2024. When was he finished with his songwriting? When was he finished with the arrangements?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact date or even exact month, but it was like I think it was somewhere like in the middle of 2024 when all the songs had the final arrangements and tunings and stuff like that. So yeah, the first he's been usually been working like one song at a time, at least how he shows them to us. So we've been getting like one song finalized at a time. So it's kind of a one song at a time. It has been moving to the next production phase, like making the lyrics and stuff like that. But I think it was like somewhere maybe last year, like a year ago, something like that, a little bit more a year ago, because it was the end of the year when we started recording, actually recording the stuff.
Yeah. The last time we spoke, we discussed the way there are more traditional heavy metal elements coming into your sound. Uh, this time around, do you feel like you're building on that, or even bringing in even more influences than traditional heavy metal?
Well, yeah, yeah, we've been building, especially production wise from there. Like now on this album, Lasse put a lot of thoughts into the more. Of course, always he puts a lot of thoughts in the productional elements. But now, for example, his guitar tone, he was really inspired by some 80s 80s metal albums guitar tones, like this kind of micro pitch sound to the guitar. So I think production wise, we got like further from where we were with the previous album. And of course, there was some elements on the last album as well that maybe were hinted a little bit, but now we kind of got them more up front, or like, yeah, not being too shy about them anymore. So we kind of added, there are more, not like too much, but more compared to the previous ones, like synthesizer elements, or now even a cello to build some like atmosphere on a couple of songs.
Right. Can you explain what the micro pitch is? Is it just a delay pedal?
I can actually explain it too much because I'm not um, that much of a guitar technician. But yeah, I think it's has something to do with kind of a, yeah,
Okay.
effect thing. Yeah, but yeah, like when you get the big sounding 80s metal albums, you can find that on some of the classic stuff. So I think Lasse was really wanted to have that kind of a sound, and so we like overall we the sound and the production was supposed to be more polished, like to give to have the big metal sound of the 80s.
Speaking of the production, where did you guys end up recording this album?
It was in some like a couple of different locations. The drums were um, were recorded in Joensuu at the local studio, and now different than the previous albums. Now Lasse also mixed the album there, so he could be present, like physically present, while doing the mix with the guy. It was Guru, I think Guru Studios was the name of the studio in Joensuu. So, and he recorded the guitars by himself, and they did the mixing there. I recorded the vocals here in Helsinki, just like the other times as well. Now just with the different people, and like 80% of the vocals were recorded just by myself.
Do you have a home setup or do you go to a studio to record your vocals?
It's not a home setup. I have this kind of a easy, easy to move mobile stuff. So I just find a place. I found a pretty nice this kind of auditorium, sort of nice acoustics like hall that I could do those vocals in Helsinki. So I went there. It was a Finnish Independence Day. That's why I remember it was like a national holiday in the middle of the week. So I could like lock myself into the building that usually has lots of people working there, but that was like totally empty then, and I could just work my vocals there. I think I did like 80% of the vocals on the very same day.
Okay.
Like I don't know how 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that.
So I just need to clarify something. Heikki Martila, the engineer
Yeah.
who is credited for working on this at Guru Studios, was he the engineer and Lasse did all the mixing?
He was the engineer of the drum sessions, but he was the yeah he was engineering also the mixing process. He was the guy handling the knobs and also doing like, of course, uh, having his expertise into the process. But Lasse was all, like every time with him in the room, so good. So he could they could talk about it all the time. So it was kind of a Heikki turning the knobs and Lasse telling him what to do next
Okay.
to him.
Okay. Was this the first time that you guys worked with Heikki?
Yeah, yeah. I think Lasse knows him like previously as a person, but he never worked with him. And as far as I know, it was a good process. So not it's not like out of possibilities that we'd continue working with him. Of course, Lasse said that it was also a little bit exhausting for him to be like to be present all the time because he's such a perfectionist.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like going there, like it was a day here and day there, like through I don't know over a month or something like that. Like not that many studio days, like as such, but like still like every time being there present and fully focusing, I think that was pretty exhausting to him as well.
Okay. Do you want to say anything about the gentleman who mastered the album?
Well, yeah, I mean, he 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 did the mixing and mastering for not the previous album, but the album before, Osur and Silhouettes Unhallowed, and he was we already knew that he could do the job like pretty like really well. And Heikki, the guy who mixed it, he doesn't want to master the stuff he mixed himself. So we had to find another person to do the mastering. So Jaime was pretty obvious choice concerning we've had we've had been doing work with him before.
Yeah. You mentioned the 80s tone that Lasse was looking for. In terms of what Heikki and Jaime brought to the sound, was that basically what you guys were looking for? Were you looking for like a big kind of 80s production?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to say anything about the guest musicians that you have on this album? You mentioned the cello.
Yeah, yeah. The cello was played by Antti Poutanen, who is an ex-member, ex-bass player of Hood and Menace. We used to tour when the band was still touring. He was a bass player in the band, so he's a friend of ours, and it was kind of a nice thing to get like previous members to involve with the album as well. And yeah, Antisa is a good cello player, so it was pretty easy thing to do. And for the other guest, John McNulty from the band called Colt's Blood. Um, he's a friend of he's a friend too, and we've been like having contact with them, played together with Hooded Menace, and I've played with Colt's Blood with my other bands in the past too. So we've had this kind of a connection with Colt's Blood, the band, previously, because on the other previous two albums we've had their guitar player Gemma doing the guest spoken word. But now on this album we had a song that didn't need we didn't need the female voice, but the male voice to do the spoken word instead. And we do, of course, we again wanted to do someone like native speaker to have a proper accent and the right voice to do that. And we knew that John has this theatrical, powerful voice. So we just asked him, and he was kind enough to do the favor.
Was John's spoken word on that last song the kind of anathema sounding vocals?
Uh, it's just the spoken word, like the low spoken word part. Yeah, it's the last song, but I don't know if you're referring to the couple of really like tiny parts, like the lamenting.
Yeah.
That's me. That's
Oh,
me.
wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the last album, you guys did a couple of surprising covers, Wasp and Judas Priest. This time around, you did another surprising cover. Do you want to say which song you picked?
We picked Duran Duran song called "Save a Prayer," and it was it's kind of a old favorite of Lasse, like since like being like the last 40 years or something like that. He he told that his sister had the tape. I think his bigger sister had the tape and tape of Rio, the Duran Duran album, which has that particular song. And as he was like 10 years old at that time, he being the metal kid, he couldn't do that like publicly, but he used to sneak to his sister's room and get the tape and to listen to it like secretly. And he's been digging that particular Duran Duran album all these decades, and I kind of had the idea that maybe he would like to do the cover sometime. And when he did the demo for it, it's kind of a clicked right away, because like we all realized that it sounded like a Lost Paradise Lost song or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a as Paradise old like early Paradise Lost is also one of our like big influences. It felt like we were doing like a cover version of both two bands. Like we're
Yeah,
doing cover Duran Duran, in a way covering Paradise Lost at the same time. So it was kind of a cool thing to do.
that's awesome. So, as you mentioned, and as we discussed the last time, Hooded Menace doesn't play very many shows anymore. Uh, do you think you might pull something out for the end of the year, or maybe next year?
Well, it's not very likely that we will play any gigs, because we haven't been playing since 2018. It's already been more than 7 years now. But yeah, it's not like we've decided we will never play gigs anymore. But it's like I can promise for sure that it won't be happening this year.
Okay.
If it ever happens, I think it will be a little bit further ahead. But yeah, you never know. But like at the time being, it's very unlikely thing right now.
Okay. So by the time people hear this episode or watch it on YouTube, Lachrymose Monuments of Obscuration will be released through Season of Mist Records. How to Please tell everyone how they can order the new album. What's the best way to get it?
Um, well, the obvious choice is to go to the label website, Season of Mist. Our label, they have both web stores in the US and outside the US. So that's a safe place to order it. They have like a ton of different kind of merch for the album as well, different variations of CD and vinyl, be the colored vinyl or whatever. Um, and yeah, and I think many distros and record stores have the album as well. We have we have like or Lasse has this kind of a big cartel website, uh, the Eyeless Horde Productions, uh, that you can sometimes look up some merch or records Lasse has in his collection. Also, like sometimes some of these other bands like Fleckathon or something like that. Maybe some copies appear like end up there as well. But yeah, I would say that the label is the easiest way to get all the different versions of it, unless you have a local distributor, local record shop that has the album. Of course, pretty much I like to support the local record dealers. That's a good way to do. But yeah, and also we have copies in our Bandcamp too. But yeah, it's pretty much the same as ordering from Season of Mist directly.
Do you want to say anything about the vinyl variants that Season of Mist created? I think there were originally four, but two are sold out now, right?
I can't remember. I uh, rarely pay too much attention on the color edition myself because I'm the person who always buys the black,
Right. Okay.
the basic. But yeah, I think there were lots of different color variations, and on this round there was also this pretty weird, if I may say, variation like this liquid filled vinyl as well. But I think it sold out pretty quickly. But there was like 100 copies of yellow liquid filled vinyl as well.
Cool.
Weird for me, but yeah, I think that's a cool collector's item if you're into that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. You mentioned the Bandcamp page. How else can people follow the band online if they want to get updates?
Well, we have a couple of social media accounts. We have Instagram, Hood and Menace official, and then we have the same for Facebook. Both of the sites, they're um, they're growing a little bit because it was like a few years ago, after around the time the Tritonus Bell was released, uh, we got our Meta Facebook page hacked, and that affected our Instagram page as well. So we had to shut them down. So we lost lots of our followers. So, but it's been like growing steadily ever since. But like, yeah, definitely if you're using those social media accounts and want to follow the band, Instagram and Facebook are the places to be.
So, besides Hooded Menace, two of your other projects released albums at the beginning of the year. Do you want to say anything about the new Hail Conjurer and the new Devil's Gateway albums?
Well, yeah, they were both released in the end of February. And yeah, Hail Country is it's black metal stuff. It's a not already ninth album of the band. It's yeah, it's like the band itself. It's been like changing a little like within every release, but it's still like a pretty obscure, maybe experimental black metal as well. Like it's just not like lots of different kind of a black metal and also other musical influences, including some like power electronics or noise or something like that as well. So it's yeah, if you like into that kind of stuff, you should definitely check it out. It's called Order of Disgrace. The Devil's Gateway is it's a newer band I'm involved in, and this was our second album, Shreds of Life. And since the album was released, we actually, because it was recorded just by me and the vocalist, but since the release of the album, the band has grown into the full 5 member band. So it's like we've been doing actually a couple of gigs already and other gigs planned. So it's kind of a getting more and more uh, like forward with that band as well. It's a like a the style is it's we call it death crust. It's
That's
like
awesome.
old school crust punk meets like really dirty death metal and or even some dirty rough death doom stuff every now and then. The label of the first album we released, um, I think they described us as like a bastard child of the Peaceville early Peaceville bands, sort of. So it's yeah, if you like heavy crust and death metal combined, you might like it.
Hadi, once again, you've been very generous with your time, but is there anything else you want to say? Like the name of your cat, who everybody saw in this episode?
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if the videos or even on, but yeah, that's Touko. He's been actually pretty um, constant with this kind of features on podcasts and stuff. Sometimes he wants the attention so much that he can take it without interfering interfering the interviews. But yeah, the other two cats out there hiding somewhere. They're not that kind of.
Cool. It was great catching up with you, Hadi. Take care.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.